So today is another book review day, and this is my first book review from the 2015 reading challenge list that I spoke about a few videos ago. And it's a challenge to read 52 books in the year of 2015. There are various categories and you choose a book from each category. And my first book is a graphic novel. I'm not that interested in reading graphic novels, I'll have to say. I don't have much experience of them other than what I've seen in the library, and they tend to be things like manga, which I know is quite popular, but I just haven't found the interest in reading it, or kind of Marvel superhero comic book type things. Again, I'm sorry, those things just don't interest me, I'm afraid. I have read one graphic novel. I think I read it last year. And it was by the author Simone Lia, and the book that I'm going to review today is another one of her books. The book I read last year was Please God Find Me a Husband, which was a lovely book. If you find it, read it. It doesn't take long, but it is a really sweet story. And this one is Fluffy by Simone Lia, and I don't know if you can see on the front there's a little picture of Fluffy and his daddy. This is an adorable book. Again, it doesn't take that long to read, but it is certainly worth it. I'll read you the blurb and then I'll talk to you a bit about it. Originally published by the author in 4 volumes, Fluffy is described by Simone Lia as a story of unanswerable questions, love, despair, adventure and happiness. Fluffy is a baby rabbit who is being looked after by an anxious single man called Michael Pulcino. Michael tries to make it clear to Fluffy that he is not his daddy, but Fluffy appears to be in denial. Michael is being pursued by Fluffy's nursery school teacher, and partly to escape her, he and Fluffy set off to visit his family in Sicily. Will Michael escape her? Will Fluffy come to terms with the reality that he is not a human being? All is at least partly resolved in Simone Lia's utterly irresistible graphic novel. So the story is mainly about Fluffy and Michael, and although Michael does tell Fluffy that he isn't his daddy, he is, and he tells him that he's a bunny, he's not a human. No, I can't see it. He behaves like a human, he behaves like a small child. He's excited about tractors and he wants to be a farmer because tractors aren't just like cars, tractors do work and they're really important. And he likes McDonald's, and he likes ice cream, and he just speaks when he wants to. He's honest, he just says what he's thinking like children do, and there is no way that you can read this and see Fluffy as a bunny. He is just a small boy who is amazed by the world and excited by the smallest things, and he is absolutely lovely. So the blurb basically does tell you exactly what happens in this book. Michael is Fluffy's daddy, and he is having a relationship with Fluffy's nursery school teacher called Susanna. However, he finds her extremely irritating and clingy and desperate, and rather than just being honest and telling her that he doesn't want to be in a relationship with her, he ignores her, which is always a really good way of getting rid of clingy, irritating people. So she constantly calls him, texts him, sends him emails. Why are you ignoring me? Blah, blah, blah. And instead of just saying, look, I'm sorry, it's not working, he goes to the extreme and takes Fluffy on holiday to Sicily to stay with Michael's parents. And as a surprise, Susanna turns up in Sicily, and it's quite a sad story for Michael, but it's also quite funny. I mean, not that I would like to have a stalker, but just to try and... You know what she's like. She's clingy and desperate and needy, and the fact that you've gone abroad isn't going to stop her finding you. So the story kind of just... It's really cute and adorable and funny and sweet and sad. And it starts off in England, and then they go on a train journey to Sicily because Michael is afraid of flying. And Fluffy is just amazed by everything. You know, he's so excited that there's a McDonald's in France. You know, he just, the world for a child is just what they see around them, and they can't imagine anything bigger than that. So it is a really, really sweet little story, and the illustrations are just adorable. It starts off with Fluffy asleep in a cardboard box. Where are we? There he is. In the living room. And just the next page is just more pictures of him. He's just snoring away. He's just asleep. And even though the pictures of Fluffy are tiny, you can still see emotion and character on his face. And it's just so, so sweet. I can't believe how adorable Fluffy is. And he is just like a normal child. There he is. He's painting the walls. And he knocks something over. And Michael is a little bit upset. And there's Fluffy. He's like, I'm sorry, Daddy. And it's just so cute. Every time he calls him Daddy, it just breaks my heart a little bit, because Michael keeps telling him he's not his daddy. And he is. And he is a real boy. He is not a bunny. And he says, you know, he says, I love you, Daddy. And I don't think Fluffy's in denial. I mean, I treat my dog as though she's my child and I'm her mummy. And I don't see anything wrong with that. But the pictures are lovely. The story is lovely. Knowing Fluffy is just, it makes you look at the world in a slightly different way. He just really enjoys all the simple things. And it makes you realise that you should perhaps enjoy some simple things. All he wants is a tractor and an ice cream. And he's happy. And that's it. There's nothing more in the world for Fluffy, even though all these terrible things are going on around him. You know, his dad's having problems with Susanna. When they're in Sicily, there's a few problems with the family, some fights and some arguments and some things going wrong. But to Fluffy, the world is just, it's very small. And sometimes I think we need to take notice of the smaller things around us and just enjoy the small things, the little things that make us happy. And Fluffy certainly is a little thing that made me very happy, and I'm glad I read it. It only took me, or probably even barely half an hour to read the book, but it's something that you can pick up and look at, and just look at the pictures, look at Fluffy's expressions, how excited he gets, how scared he gets at some points. Lovely, absolutely brilliant book. Read it, read it. So if you've read it, or if you've read any other Simone Lia's books, let me know in the comments down below. And if you would like to hear any more of my other book reviews, then please subscribe to my channel. I try to put out new videos every week, or at least after I've read a book. I also do shameless self-promotion, where I talk about my own books, and I sometimes give out writing advice. So if you're a reader or a writer and that's what you're interested in, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.